Hey, what's up, guys? Dan here. I hope that you are enjoying the new sound quality. This will be my first time actually hearing it on a recording, but I did pick up a new microphone that has definitely been long overdue, and hopefully this improves the sound quality a lot, and makes these videos a little bit more easy to get through. I know I'm hilarious, and that's really why you guys watch these, but it probably also helps when the sound isn't crap. What's going on? We are going to be doing an update on market activity tonight. Hopefully, going to keep this a pretty quick video. Shout out, got to do these selfless plugs first before we get rocking and rolling. Remember, guys, if you want, like, subscribe. You'll always get updated when we release new content on our YouTube channel. And you can also join us in our Discord server where we trade live every day. We hang out, we have a good time, we talk about trade ideas, and yeah, it's a fun-loving community. On top of that, we are doing a member giveaway drawing at the end of this month, 1st of October, for some pretty cool prizes for the folks who decide they want to join us for a membership. Remember, guys, being part of the community is 100% free. We will never ask you for money to hang out with us and ask questions and otherwise just be a community member. But if you do want to help us support the channel, you can always become a member. And yeah, you get cool perks like the giveaway that we've got coming up and hopefully some other exciting stuff somewhere down the road. But shameless plug is over. Let's get into it. So we are looking at our ES futures, okay? And if we kind of recall what was going on last time we talked about this, and if you've been paying attention to the market, this probably isn't going to surprise you too much. We were on a nice uptrend that once we got through a really fun consolidation area that we had consolidated in previously, we started looking like we were going to make a pretty cool breakout. And that breakout fell just short of our long-term downtrend line from the first of the year, right? Yeah, that starts on 1/4/22. Wow, yeah. So fell just short of that. And then, of course, we came crashing down. We saw a very rapid loss through our 200 moving average. We overtook our 20 really quickly, entered back into that consolidation zone. It looked for a moment like we were going to bounce and recover as we crossed back over that 20, the 200. And then, of course, everybody remembers that Friday. Oh, yeah, we went down hard. And you can see sellers closed it right at the very bottom. We crossed the 20, we crossed the 50. We were outside of that consolidation zone, going down, going down. We ended up taking out our 50 retracement pretty quickly. And the retracement, of course, is from our previous swing low. Actually, you know what? I don't like how that's set up. We're gonna swing this around a little bit because I realized I want to have this at our utmost low point. I know there's an easier way I could be doing this, but I've got the zoom set exactly where I want it, so we're going to play with it this way. It'll make more sense once I get it to where it's supposed to be. Come on. There we go. All right. Woo. Sweet. Okay. So, we overtook the 38.2 relatively quickly. That's what I wanted to get at there. And what we saw is after we kind of came back a little bit from that really big drop, we could see that we could not maintain price action, right? There wasn't any interest in getting us back up over the 38.2, and we continued our downward drop to our 50% retracement. We were kind of hanging out there for a little bit, weren't sure if we were going to lose that level, lost it pretty quick, and dropped right down to our upward trend line from the last two swing lows, and also happens to meet up perfectly with our 61.8 retracement. Ooh. Now that was also a really heavy buying day for volume compared to what we had been seeing the past few days. You can see when we did start that drop on Friday, our volume started to rise very rapidly above our average line. That's this blue line right here. And it was pretty dominated with selling up until we hit that 61.8 retracement and our upward trend line. And it was enough buying that even though we came all the way down, you can see we closed almost at the top, right? So it's a pretty big range to then have buyers really take it to the sellers to the top. We had a nice opening on the next day, really close to where we closed. We saw a rally that headed all the way up, slammed its head right at the same high that we made right over here on 831, and then it came crashing all the way back down to close even lower. All right. And then here's what we've been kind of looking at the last 2 days. Um, we did finally get that breach down below a major support line, our 61.8, our upward trend line. And we were starting to wonder if, okay, is this it? Are we going to drop through this thin area now and start repairing some of that structure that we left from our last run up? There are a couple VPOCs down here on their way. Unfortunately, I don't have them charted out, but they're also not super relevant to this exact moment, so we're not going to worry too much about that. We did repair a little bit on our way down as we were coming down. We repaired some of the VPOCs that we made in this rather rapid drop up there. Drop up? No, that's kind of an oxymoron. So what we're looking at now is today we had another run at the low, and it just decided that there was no price action to be had down there. And we watched as it climbed all the way back up, and we finally got that higher close. Now, what's going to happen from here is anyone's guess, obviously. But let's start to talk about what this really means for what we're seeing. Our trend line has been breached. Our major support has been breached. Our 61.8 has been breached. These ordinarily are all signs that we're heading for a full retracement, or at least we're heading down to go check a full retracement. But with this activity here, this mostly buying dominated volume on what we can see with our Weiss waves as very little effort, that almost screams seller shutoff at this point. So it's very contradicting to what we've been seeing, what we've been experiencing. Obviously, there really isn't too much change in our economic standing. Um, Gas and fuel still kind of going wonky. There's interesting things going on with that. And the overall market recognizes that we're not going to be seeing inflation going down anytime in the immediate future, which is why they've been telling us all along that they're going to be continuing on their rate hikes. And we just don't really have any information that's super catastrophic, right? So why would we re-go visit those lows? Well, we don't really know. The next interesting thing that I want to point out and look at is that we did just finally get a crossover of our moving averages. Now, our 20 and our 50 on our daily obviously move a lot slower. And when we have these swings like that, you'd almost expect that this is going to expand for a bit before we get an actual recovery and pull back through. So that's something that we can be mindful of, paying attention to. Doesn't mean that that's going to be the case. I mean, we could just rocket back up through it. But here's where my eye is. I have my eye on this level right here, where we failed those previous two times. I'm actually looking to see if we get some consolidation or some resting at this level between tomorrow and Friday. Actually, currently I have an open butterfly position targeting this area. And the reaction here, I think, is going to help me determine what kind of plays I want to make after that. If we come up and get a nice check of our 20, that would probably be a pretty good spot, risk to reward, to start looking at some short opportunities again, based on whether or not we've got a lot of follow through and strength in the buying. We have our value area from our previous week and our point of control, which we are heading up to check and see what's going on there. More upward activity would start to drag our current point of control up with it. So you can see we've got a pretty high volume node building up right here. And then the next thing that I want to point out about this same area is you can see that volume starts to pretty rapidly drop off between that point and where we would eventually make it back up to this next support resistance. So this entire area right here, this is a very weak shelf. If we come up to here and we find some pretty good acceptance above this resistance, in theory, we should then anticipate we could get a very quick move through this area up to here to test. And then obviously that would bring us as a crossing back over our 20 and our 50. And that just kind of throws us for a whole another fun time. And then above that, we've got our 827 VPOC from this big old drop, right? There's that 826, 827, 826. I think that's actually 826. Yeah, that's 826. Sorry, my bad. I have that labeled incorrectly. I said 827. It's 826. So that's kind of where we're at right now. Just looking at things as they're building and developing. Tomorrow, we're going to want to pay attention to this 50% level. It's going to function very well for us in the sense of helping us determine who's in control. If buyers can continue to make another higher high and keep our low from retracing too much, that should put the ball further in their court to really go and check out that resistance up above. If, however, we can't hold price action over that 50% and we really start to see buyers peter out, that's going to be an opportunity for our sellers to step back in and begin pushing the market down again. One thing that we could potentially look at for all of this is that everybody was getting super short as we were dropping down through here. When the market gets short quicker than it is actually moving, and I mean, I know this happened really, really quick, but we had an overabundance of shorts piling in by the time we got down to here, and there just wasn't anybody left to sell. I mean, we could see that right here with this bounce, right? There was an attempt and then just a whole bunch of short covering to bring us back up. Now, do we know it was short covering? Do we know it was really buying? Six one way, half a dozen the other. We know that the market was really short. We know that we had a really key level here. And just like clockwork, very mechanically, it bounced off of it and we come back up. If I'm riding a short from down here and this is happening and I see that mechanical reaction to that level, yeah, I'm going to cover my short. Now, is everybody else going to do the same thing? Maybe, maybe not. But we have to remember that there's a lot of algorithms out there that are running, things for people and looking at key levels like Fibonacci, past support resistances, trend lines, things like that. But yeah, I don't want to ramble on too much. There really isn't much more to say. We're waiting and seeing what's going to be going on here. Obviously, we still have our uptrend line that we could see re-challenged. We've got that major support that we've now broken back up above. We've got our 61.8. So maybe we're looking at a spring event here, and we are going to get the breakout and break away. Maybe not. Maybe we're going to get an up thrust event up above this resistance where we touch off of our 20, and then that's going to be our short opportunity. But at this point, we're sitting in the middle. And there's a fun rule that I like, which is called don't diddle in the middle. So we won't be opening any kind of swing positions on the market at this point. We need confirmation up here, down here, or up here before we start looking for new positions on weeklies or monthlies. Okay. Well, hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it gave you some insight as to what's going on, and hopefully it's going to help you make some smart trades tomorrow and Friday and for the weeks to come. Remember, guys, if you like the content, please like, subscribe. You'll get notified every time we make an update. And if you like what I'm talking about, feel free to join our Discord community. Come trade with us. Check out our trade ideas. Throw trade ideas at us. We love discussing this stuff. We are total freaking nerds about this. I mean, none of us are professional traders, but we love the game. We love the element of education and seeking out knowledge and learning from each other. So that's it, guys. We're an education first based community, and that's the way it's going to stay. So hey, have a good one, and I will catch you on the flip side.